Hello my dear students, welcome to another video session from Karim's Biology. And you are aware in the previous session I have explained about the structure of DNA, and I hope that you understood the concept. In today's session we are going to learn about chromosomes. I hope that you heard this word chromosomes earlier. So let us see what are these chromosomes. What is a chromosome? Do you know that DNA and chromosomes are closely associated together? They are not separate. So when you talk about chromosomes, definitely we should have learnt about the structure of DNA. That's why I insist you to please watch my previous video about structure of DNA and come back to here. If you have not watched it yet, I'm leaving the link in the cards. Please watch it and come back here. So what is a chromosome? Chromosomes are bundles of tightly coiled DNA located within the nucleus of almost every cell in our body. Look at the definition once again. What are chromosomes? Chromosomes are bundles of tightly coiled DNA. Bundles. Look at the picture over here. They are the bundle. Look at this. It is just appearing in the form of a bundle. And this bundle is formed by tight coiling of DNA. When the DNA is tightly coiled around something, then that is said to be chromosomes. Then what is that something around which the DNA is coiled? We are going to learn in this session. Don't worry. And look at this. The definition suggests that located within the nucleus of almost every cell. Then what is the location of chromosomes? I told you earlier that chromosomes and DNA, they are not apart. They are closely associated. So wherever you find DNA, there itself you can find chromosomes. Because the chromosomes are made up of DNA. Here it is mentioned, it is bundles of tightly coiled DNA. So within the cells of every animal and every plant, it should be eukaryote, because only eukaryotes have a true nucleus. Within the nucleus you can find DNA, and DNA during the time of cell division will be bundled in the form of chromosome. And how that happens, I am going to explain you. And look at this another picture. And why are you staring at this thread roll? Look here. Initially, this thread roll is made up of thread, but when you wind this thread around a pipe-like structure, it is making up in the form of a bundle. And you can correlate this structure to that of the structure of chromosomes, because chromosomes also made up of similar type of structure. Here the thread is rolled to make up a bundle-like structure, but here the chromosome is twisted around something to form this bundle-like structure. Okay. Don't worry, we will be discussing in detail about how this happens in chromosomes and how chromosomes are formed out of DNA. And then, what do you see over here is a long fiber of DNA. The packaging of DNA into chromosome begins with a single DNA fiber. So what you can see here is a long single DNA fiber, and this is the fundamental structure which eventually turns into a chromosome. And how that happens? Look at this next picture. What do you see? This is the long DNA fiber, and this long DNA fiber, after coming here, it is surrounding some small structures which are round here. How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 round structures that you can see here, around which the DNA fiber is encircling. Then what are these minute structures that you can see? These are called histone proteins. Understood, my dear students? These are called histone proteins. Let us see the DNA fiber. So initially I told you that the packing of chromosome starts with the DNA fiber. The DNA fiber now wind around some special basic proteins called histone proteins. Actually, this much detail is not required for 10th class biology, especially AP 10th class biology. But for the sake of your understanding, I am just giving these details. The DNA fiber now wind around some special basic proteins called histone proteins. So just now I told you that these small round structures around which the DNA is winding, these are called histone proteins. Understood, my dear students? And what is the nature of these histone proteins? These histone proteins are basic in nature. they are basic in nature, whereas the DNA fiber is acidic in nature. Remember this. DNA is acidic in nature, whereas the histone proteins are basic in nature. Okay, so let us see, if you magnify these structures, how do they appear? So this is how they appear when you magnify. How many are there? There are only 8 histone proteins are here, but how many are given here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are given. Okay, don't think that there are only 5 histone proteins. Actually, histone proteins are of 5 types. You can look here: H2A, H2B, H3, H4, and other one is H1. So these are the 5 fundamental types of histone proteins, and I told you the nature of histone proteins is basic. And how they are arranged? These histone proteins, first of all, they are arranged in the form of an octamer core. The histone proteins here, they form a core or a round structure which is made up of octamer. Octamer means 8 histone proteins will be forming a core here. How many? But you can see only 4 histone proteins here. H2A, H2B, H3, H4, like that only 4 are seen here. But below that, on the other side also, you can find similar 4 types of histone proteins. So 4 plus 4, they become 8 histone proteins here. So that's why octa means 8. These 8 histone proteins here, they are making up an octamer. Okay. Okay, look at this animation. You can clearly understand what I'm talking about. So this is the DNA strand that I told you that it will initially begin, and DNA strand eventually twisted around as suggested by the structure suggested by Watson and Crick, and finally it will wind around the histone proteins. Can you see these structures here? These are the histone proteins. So a single strand of a single fiber of DNA, it is winding around the histone proteins. So these histone proteins, they are seen there. Understood? So that's about the histone proteins and octamer. So why I call this octamer? Because here there are 8 histone proteins which are bunched in the form of a core. So it is called octamer of core histones. Okay, and then what happens? The DNA, you can see this pink and red colored structure fiber here. This is actually the DNA which is over here. It is represented in the form of black color. Here it is represented in the form of red color and pink color. Okay, this is the DNA, and the DNA is winding around. Look at this. The DNA fiber now wind around some special basic proteins called histone proteins. These are the histone proteins, and the DNA is now winding around these histone proteins, around the octamer of histone proteins. Okay, look here again. Look here again. So the DNA fiber, this is the DNA fiber, is winding around the octamer of the histone proteins. Okay, that's about formation of octamer. Then next what happens? Let us see what happened next. And I told you that the histone proteins are positively charged proteins. Okay, previous slide I told you that histone proteins are basic in nature and DNA is acidic in nature. And by charge, histone proteins are positively charged. And at the same time, you must also remember that DNA is negatively charged. Don't forget this point. Histone proteins are positively charged and DNA is negatively charged. Understood, my dear students? DNA is negatively charged and histone proteins are positively charged. And you knew what happens. You would have studied already that when positive and negative charges, they get attracted. Is it not? They get attracted. So that's what is going to happen. So the positively charged histones tightly bind with negatively charged DNA. I told you that DNA is negatively charged and histone proteins are positively charged. So positive and negative charges, they have strong affinity, isn't it? They have strong attraction forces. That is why the DNA, it will tightly wind around these histone proteins, because DNA over here is negatively charged and histone proteins are positively charged. So because of this strong affinity between these two, the DNA tightly wind these histone proteins that form a strong bead-like structure. The octamer form a bead-like structure around which the DNA is winded. Understood now, dear students? So DNA plus histones is called nucleosome. I told you that these are the histone proteins, and around the histone proteins the DNA winds, and together DNA along with histone proteins, they are called, so it is appearing in the form of a bead now. So this is called, this bead like structure that appears is called nucleosome. So what you can see over here that is enlarged, this is a bead like structure formed by four basic types of octamers which are arranged in the form of a core. This is appearing like a bead. This entire structure is called nucleosome. So what is a nucleosome? A nucleosome is a bead-like structure that is formed by winding of DNA around the histone proteins. And later what happens? Like this, there will be so many nucleosomes. The DNA winds up here, and again a small strand of DNA, a small fiber of DNA gets separated. This will continue to wind another octamer of histone proteins. It will again continue to wind another octamer of histone proteins, and eventually what is it? How is it appearing? Okay, DNA along with histones. This is the DNA along with histones. It gives the unique beads on a string appearance. How is it appearing? It is appearing like beads on a string. See, this is the string and these are the beads. It is also giving a similar type of appearance, isn't it? So these are the beads. They are appearing as beads. These nucleosomes are appearing as beads, and this DNA is appearing as a string. So they are appearing all together as beads on a string. Understood, my dear students? So look at the animation once again. Once again, we are seeing the animation. There is a long DNA fiber which is made up of two strands, twisted ladder-like structure. This is winding around the histone proteins, and this is giving the appearance of beads on a string. Beads on a string, which is the unique appearance, that is because of these nucleosomes on the DNA. So come to the next slide. What is happening here? Eventually, what is happening? These nucleosomes along with DNA and histones further coiled. Look at here. These are the beads of a string, appearing like beads of a string, which are nucleosomes, and they are further coiling up. You see here, further they are coiling up. When they further coil up, they form they form a structure like this. Okay, so it is just appearing like that of a rod-like structure, but it is a thread-like structure. Okay, this long thread-like structure that appears, and remember, this thread-like structure, see, look here, this is one nucleosome, this is one nucleosomes, and all the nucleosomes, they are winded upon, and they again super coiled to give this long thread-like structure. And this long thread-like structure that you can see over here is called chromatin fiber. So you don't forget the order. This is the DNA. DNA is winding around the histone proteins octamer to form the nucleosome. Nucleosomes are further supercoiled to form a long fiber-like structure called chromatin. Understood, my students? So this is chromatin fiber, and chromatin fiber is made by further coiling of these nucleosomes. Understood? So this is the chromatin material. Generally, when the cell is not dividing within the nucleus, you can see this chromatin material. And don't forget the fact that chromatin material is seen within the nucleus or a cell that is not dividing. Okay, and chromosomes are found clearly in the nucleus or the cell which is about to undergo division or which is undergoing cell division. Don't forget that. So about cell division, two types of cell divisions are there, mitosis and meiosis. I am going to explain that in the coming sessions, no problem. Okay. Then what happens? I told you that chromatin fibers are formed, and these chromatin fibers are again further condensed. You see here, this chromatin fiber, it is further condensed and it is forming a long rod-like structure. This rod-like structure is what is our today's topic, that is chromosome. I hope that now you understood how this chromosome is made. The chromosome is made up of chromatin material. Chromatin material is made by this coiling of the histone proteins, nucleosomes, and nucleosomes are made by coiling of DNA around the histone proteins. Understood? And it is eventually formed by a single fiber of long DNA. This is how the chromosomes are formed. Understood? So just now I told you that chromosomes generally appear in the cell only during the cell division, and in the remaining time the chromosomes, they will not appear. The genetic material, which is DNA, it exists in the form of this particular structure, which is chromatin material. So the chromatin material condenses and form the chromosomes during the cell division. When the cell is not undergoing division, the chromosomes again decondense and form this chromatin material. I hope that you understood. Now come to the next session. Okay, just you follow this star, then I think that you can understand how this is formed. The star, follow that star, that is the long DNA fiber. The DNA fiber is winding up around the histone proteins. Histone proteins are again further supercoiled to form a long chromatin material. Chromatin material is again condensing to form a rod-like structure called chromosome. Understood, my dear students? So this is how chromosomes are formed. Once again you see this animation, you can clearly understand now how the chromosomes are formed. A long strand of DNA, coiling around histone proteins. Histone proteins will be again form the nucleosomes. Nucleosomes will be again twisted around, again they will be coiled around, super coiled to form a structure called chromatin fiber. So this thing that you can see over here, spring like structure, is the chromatin fibers, and chromatin fibers are further condensed to form the chromosomes. Thank you very much. And now you see there are two important definitions with respect to the chromosome, with respect to the packing of DNA into chromosome. The packaging of chromatin into chromosomes is called condensation. So there are two words which you frequently come across when you discuss about mitosis and meiosis. They are condensation and decondensation. With respect to formation of chromosomes, these two words are quite important to you. What are the condensation? So the first definition is condensation. What is condensation? Till now whatever we have seen is condensation. The packaging of chromatin into chromosomes. When the chromatin packed into rod-like chromosomes, then that is called condensation. Look at this equation. When chromatin material is turned into chromosomes, when the chromatin material is packed into chromosomes, then that is called condensation. Then what is decondensation? The reverse of the condensation is called decondensation. What is that? Unwinding of chromosome back into chromatin. When the chromosomes again when they turn back into chromatin, this is called decondensation. And remember always that chromatin will be condensed to chromosome during the time of cell division, and after the completion of cell division, the chromosomes decondense back into chromatin. Okay, don't forget this point. Chromatin material will be condensed to chromosomes just during the time of the cell division, and after the completion of cell division, chromosomes eventually will be decondensed into chromatin material. Understood? So let's come to the summary now. First point that I told you is chromosomes are bundles of tightly coiled DNA located within the nucleus of almost every cell in our body. The packaging of DNA into chromosomes begin with a single DNA strand. You can also see the animation here. It will all start with a single DNA fiber. The DNA fiber, what I told you, DNA fiber is negatively charged, and there are special proteins which are basic in nature called histone proteins, which in the form of octamer they are positively charged. Now what happens? Due to the strong affinity between positive and negative charges, the DNA fiber now wind around some special basic proteins called histone proteins. Now what happens? The histone proteins are positively charged proteins present in the nucleus, and I told you DNA is negatively charged and histones are positively charged. So the positively charged histone tightly binds with negatively charged DNA. Then the resulting structure that forms the DNA plus histone is called nucleosome. These nucleosomes along with the DNA and histones condense into chromatin material, and the chromatin material further supercoiled and condensed to form a rod-like structure called chromosome. And I hope that you understood this concept. Thank you very much for watching this video.